Our top story this hour, India and Kenya discuss the Indo Pacific region as Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar wrapped up his three-day visit to the East African country. The significant development came as the two held extensive talks on global and regional issues, including security situation in the Indo Pacific region and the Horn of Africa. Apart from this, India also extended support to Kenya's Big Four agendas. Now, these are the Kenyan government programs dedicated to food security, affordable housing, manufacturing and affordable healthcare. During his address at the inauguration of the renovated Mahatma Gandhi Library at the University of Nairobi, Jaishankar called for the decentralization of globalization.
President Uhuru Kenyatta. The direct lesson from the pandemic is the need today, the pressing need, I would say, for decentralized globalization. Our sense of security has also undergone a radical change. We now perceive health and food security as far more intrinsic to national security. This makes a compelling case for enhancing capacities in Africa. And that would only happen when partnerships genuinely aimed at Africa's welfare deliver more extensively on development projects.
Earlier, Jaishankar interacted with the Indian diaspora in Kenya. Nearly 80,000 persons of Indian origin live in the East African country. He also held talks with his Kenyan counterpart. The duo discussed enhancement of bilateral cooperation. Now, for more on this, we are being joined by WION's principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, for more updates on this. Siddhant, thank you for joining us. Now, India and Kenya discussed the Indo-Pacific region as the External Affairs Minister wrapped up his visit. What can you tell us about the developments on that front?
Well, this is the first in-person visit of an Indian minister to Africa amidst the COVID pandemic, and this year as well, we know that there hasn't been much of a physical movement because of the COVID pandemic. But talking about the outcome, the joint statement was released by India and Kenya yesterday evening, and four things stood out. First, of course, the mention of Indo Pacific. This is, of course, significant in terms of an African country using the term Indo Pacific, which has seen increased traction globally when it comes to ASEAN countries or European countries, but this is perhaps for the first time an African country is using the term in the joint statement. Second, of course, a development partnership India has been providing in terms of capacity building resources to Kenya. In fact, India provides scholarship to many Kenyan students. Also, as you pointed out, the domestic agenda of the Kenyan government is backed by the Indian government, the four big agendas, which is significant in terms of India providing support to Kenya. And lastly, it is the issue of counter-terrorism that, of course, also was mentioned. The issue of terrorism not only here in Asia, but also in Africa.
Right, Siddhant. Now, just for more clarity on this, what exactly is Kenya's role when it comes to security and issues relating to the Indo-Pacific?
Well, first of all, the fact that it's for the first time that there is a use of Indo-Pacific term by Kenya, by perhaps any African country, is something that is bound to raise eyebrows, especially in Beijing, because Beijing is not very happy whenever a country uses the word Indo-Pacific while it's being backed by India and, of course, United States. But also remember that Kenya shares its maritime border with India in terms of sharing the shores of the Indian Ocean. So both these countries have been the members of the IORA, that's the Indian Ocean Rim Association. This is a grouping of all the countries who share shores with the Indian Ocean. And under this platform, both countries are working with each other when it comes to issues such as maritime piracy, when it comes to the pollution in the region, maritime pollution. So we do expect under the larger rubric of Indo-Pacific vision, both countries will come together on various issues, especially when it comes to Indian Ocean becoming an increasingly an area of competition between the great powers.
All right, and also talking about Kenya's Big Four agendas, now India has extended support. How do you see the support manifesting?
Well, if we talk about the larger relationship between India and Africa, first we know that India has been providing support to African countries in terms of development partnership, in terms of infrastructure development. In fact, one thing I would like to point out is that last year, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation had held its foreign ministers meeting, and this meeting happened in Niger, and it happened in a conference hall that was built by India Mahatma Gandhi Convention Center. And similar things are happening here in Kenya as well. In fact, the Indian External Affairs Minister was present at a library at the University of Nairobi, and this Mahatma Gandhi library has been refurbished with the financing provided by the Indian government. So the Indian government providing support to the domestic agenda, whether it's manufacturing, because Kenya wants to increase its manufacturing to 20% by the year 2022. Low-cost housing, this is another big project of the Kenyan government. So these are the projects through which Indian government wants to support not only Kenya but larger African continent as well.
All right, Siddhant, thank you so much for joining us with all the updates on that.